So I was contemplating whether I should go ahead and create these videos that I already have the audios for. There was two audios that I recorded yesterday, and this is going to be a series. It's entitled "Why Are We Here?" Okay, and I'm bringing out the sealed portion starting in chapter 94 and into chapter 95. Now, the two audios that I already have ready to make into a video, them two is dealing with chapter 94, okay? And I think that the Father is going ahead to lead me to just go ahead and start 95. And so I'm going to have this audio too to create a video with. All right. There were some thoughts on my head earlier before I took Tiger out for a walk, and as I was, taking him for a walk, and bro, yesterday I got a call. Okay, I got a call yesterday. It was one of my facilitators of the client that I was partnered with. The one that had removed my business, and then it was like, hey, we're sorry to see you go. Hey, we actually want you to come back, but we want you to do all of this. Before you come back, we need you to recertify, because they did all of these changes, bro. They did all of these changes and whatnot to the systems and to policy and all of that, so they wanted me to put in time to recertify. And honestly, I haven't had that time, because the Father has literally been giving me things to my spirit to bring out. Now, this next series that I'm coming out with is very important, okay? It's very important. It's pertinent. It's dealing with the time that we're living in right now, okay? And I have also tied my own life into it, because I'm living this life. Okay, and to simplify it for people. Now, she asked me to be real with her. And so, I was real with her. Because, she asked me if I'd be able to get the recertification done by midnight last night. I do love the client. I loved what I did, but I just don't have the time to invest in recertifying at the moment. I've been seriously busy with something else. I let her know that it's not for income. I'm not making any income. I'm without income, okay? But I feel it on my spirit to do this, okay? So when she asked me to be real with her and, what is it that I'm doing, because I said there's no income. She said, well, what is it? Can I ask, what's going on? Just be real with me, And so I was real with her. I said, I'm not sure if you believe in a creator or not. She said, oh, yes, most definitely. I believe in a creator. And so I continued, and I said, well, he has called me to work in his vineyard. He's called me to work for the kingdom, and there's a lot of things he's been downloading to my spirit that I'm led to put out and to bring out to people on my YouTube channel. And she said, oh wow, that is amazing. She said, if I was in your shoes, I would do the same thing. I would listen to what God is saying. That she used the term God. She said, I would listen to what the Creator is telling you. He will take care of you. I will listen to what he's saying. He'll take care of you. Now, she confirmed it, see, there's confirmation all over the place, people. And this was what was on my mind as I took care of my personal hygiene before taking Tiger out. Was just, bathing. And as I bathe, I spend time with the Father. Just me and the Father. I didn't even take my phone in there this time because I just wanted to communicate with the Father. And He knows all of these things, and I'm not hiding these things. It's not like, I'm not telling you what's going on with my life. Yes, they offered me another opportunity to come and gain income, but I would have had to invest hours of my time to recertify and then invest more time in order to take calls. This is an investment of time, people. Okay, this is not about responsibility. Okay, this is about taking time from what the Father has called me to do to spend time doing what this world tells me to do. Okay, and what I've been programmed in this world to do in order to sustain my life. Okay, but that is contrary to what the Father has put in my spirit. See, it would have been different if they hadn't made all of these changes and I hadn't had to recertify again, put in all of this time, energy, and effort to recertify, which I would have to do because they changed all their programs. So I wouldn't want to just start taking calls without recertifying because they changed so much. So I would have to invest time in getting to relearn all the things that they changed. And I just ain't got the time for that. I don't have the time nor energy for that when my time and energy and focus is on what the Father has put within me. Okay? Now this is confirmed everywhere. And it's also confirmed in the scriptures. Okay? Now we're going to go into chapter 95, but give me a second. Let me go ahead and load in the first video for this. I'm gonna go ahead and save. The first audio. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's gonna be a video, but it's not a video yet. And excuse my tiger. I took him out already today. We walked around for about an hour or a little more. And he's still not satisfied. He was quiet for about 30 minutes and now he's doing that. I need a folder for this because it's going to be a playlist. Tiggy, chill out. Alright, now I got that saved so I can close out of this video program. Mind you, the first two audios are over an hour, okay? The first one is an hour and 2 minutes approximately. And the second one is an hour and 2 minutes approximately. And then I have a third one. It's not entitled the same, but it's still, pretty much a part of this. It says I'm against this system. That's the title. Okay, that one's 19 minutes and 24 seconds. Okay, and now it's gonna be this one. All right. So let me go ahead and bring up my browser. It's a freaking ant on my wall. Tiggy, chill out. Chill. We're at the end, people. There's no way at the end, after the Father has confirmed everything that's always been within me from the time that I could remember, even when I had no understanding on why I was the way that I was, now that He's confirmed it everywhere and confirmed it within these sealed books, bro, He's confirmed it within the scriptures. He's confirmed it on Facebook. He's confirmed it through other people. He has confirmed it through freaking YouTube videos. He's confirmed it everywhere, okay? Everywhere, including the Bible, including other scriptures outside of the Bible, and in this sealed book that we're about to get into, okay? So it's everywhere. You cannot tell me that I'm not hearing from the Father when he confirms his word, okay? He confirms his word. So I am 100% trusting in the Father to sustain my life, okay? I have no income. $30 is going to be deducted out of my account if it hasn't already been already. And yeah, they ain't done it yet. But when they do it, I'll have $62 in my bank account. I have 2 rows of TP left, 1 or 2, something like that. 1 or 2 rows of TP. I have 1 bag of cat food left. You know, I got about 1 thing of litter. For Tiger. I'm out of the soap that I normally use, you know, the body soap that I normally use. Because I try to stay away from using freaking animal fat. And I definitely don't want to use no pig fat. You know, so I try to buy the soap that don't have animal products. Okay, I try to go plant-based, but these things cost more in this corrupted ass system. Okay, so right now I've been having to use Zest, and I'm not sure what kind of, you know, animal fat. I don't know what kind of fat they use for that soap, but that's not the soap. I switched from that to using plant-based soap, but I'm out of my plant-based soap, so now I'm having to use that. Okay, needing dish detergent, okay, dish soap, okay. I got other dish soap that, you know, uses animal fat. I try to go plant-based, you know, but I'm pretty much almost out of that. I'm now forced to use hard chemicals to clean my tub because I'm out of the plant-based soap, okay? So now I'm using Mr. Clean, which I was using before I switched, okay? Because I don't have money to buy, you know, what I've been needing, what I've been using when I had money, okay? So already I'm going without many things that I need, okay? My family has not offered to help me. My blood family, my flesh and blood family know that I am without income and have been without income since April, right? My dad has only helped me with my medical bills, okay? He sends me a little money for anytime I have to go to the doctor. But anything outside of that, he sent me $50 last time for my doctor's appointment, and that was to help me get some toiletries and whatnot, along with my doctor, to pay for the visit, okay? Even though I told him I have Medicaid, so really I only have to pay $5 for the doctor's visit and $5 for my medication, if I have to get my prescription refilled. Which again, I'm on a water pill to try to combat the swelling, and I'm also on high blood pressure, okay? So he's been helping with that. But other than that, he has not helped me in my time of need, okay? He came here to visit. He took me shopping for clothes, which I'm not speaking against him, you know, but I would have much rather had, you know, things that I needed more than clothes. I can care less that my clothes are falling off of me. Hell, they're still falling off of me. I had no idea that freaking a size 48 would be baggy on me. They're seriously baggy on me. You know, the last pair of jeans that I bought were a size 50. You know, what size jeans did I buy last? Oh, it was a size 56. The last pair of jeans I bought were a size 56 or 54, somewhere around in there. So, you know, I thought I was, you know, getting a size that would fit me good. You know, I've lost more weight since my dad bought me those jeans too. So, since he bought me these jeans, I've lost more weight. So these things fall off. I've had to put several new holes in the belt that he bought me, because they just don't hold up my jeans. They don't hold them up. I have to put more holes in the belt to make them tighter. But anyway, bottom line is, you know, my computer. I you know, really needed a new computer. I would have much rather had a new computer, you know, or, you know, money so that I can sustain my life, you know, than to have clothes. I did need new clothes, and it's nice that I have new clothes, you know, but I would have much rather spent more time with my dad as well. You know, I got to spend one day with him, and I didn't even mean to get all off on this. But I want people to understand that, you know, in the life of a servant, I'm sacrificing my needs and my wants, you know, as far as material things, in order to get this word out to you, because it's very important in these days that we're living in. You have to change your heart, okay? It is very important that you change your heart, okay? You cannot make it into the kingdom with a cold heart. You cannot make it into the kingdom with a mind full of preconceived ideologies from men, because with a mind full of preconceived ideologies from men, your heart has become cold. In order to melt your stony heart, you must let go of all of these things that you've been taught by men and be retaught by the Spirit of truth, okay? The Spirit of truth will convict you. And when you're convicted of all the things that you've done in ignorance, as well as knowing consciously, you're going to feel bad about that, okay? Good people, like if you're a good person, if you deep down, if you and you know whether or not you're a good person, okay? A good person, a good-hearted person deep down will eventually see the light, okay? But corrupted people, people with an evil heart and evil intentions from the get, they are going to reject this truth, okay? They're going to reject everything against the Father, all right? But those that are of the Father, all you got to do is give ear. And once you give ear to hear the truth of the Most High, it will convict you. And once it convicts you, and you seek the Father in repentance, crying before Him, pouring out your heart before Him with a broken heart, because it will break your heart to know that the Father loves you, and all your life you've been taught all of these things against Him. He requires a broken heart and a contrite spirit, okay? He does not require religious works, okay? Religious things that you do, like wearing fringes, going to church on Sunday, paying your tithes and offerings to these charlatans. These things are superficial, and they're not beneficial to you whatsoever, okay? What would be beneficial to you is giving ear to the word by way of the Spirit, So that way you can be convicted in your heart, so that you will seek the Father as a child and have him renew your mind. Be retaught via the Spirit of truth. Be baptized by fire. Okay? That is the only way that you're going to make it into the kingdom. You must be born again. To be born again is to be renewed in your mind. Okay? To have a change of heart. No longer a hard, stony heart. No longer selfish. No longer greedy. No longer judgmental. No longer pointing fingers at others. You will always have a mirror looking right at your own sins, like I do, like many of the other righteous brothers and sisters that's been called of the Father to bring his true word in these days. Okay? Because everything that I'm saying to you, I have already had to do. Okay? And I am still continuously doing it on a daily basis. Okay? Now, chapter 95. The evils of modern day secular educational pursuits. Yahusha, the Messiah, will destroy all of the institutions of learning that have been established by the human race. We are admonished to seek for the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness above all else. So how come we're not taught that, people? How come we're taught everything against this? How come we're taught to pursue education so that we can get a job, so that we can work for this system, so that we can sustain our life? How come we're not taught to seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness above all else? How come we ain't taught that? Verse 1. And now behold, in the latter days, Satan shall begin to use the power that he hath gained over the hearts and minds of the children of men to turn them away from the law of the Most High. For behold, in those days there shall be many institutions of learning established in all corners of the earth. And the people shall be deceived into believing that the most important thing that they can acquire for themselves is an education from one of these institutions. And these institutions shall be set up to get gain by those who organize them and seek a profit from them. For they shall not give knowledge without price. But behold, the knowledge that they shall teach shall be worthless in the kingdom of the Most High. Behold, the knowledge that shall be taught unto the students of these institutions shall be the knowledge that Satan has given unto the world, that all might know of his plan, and that all might learn the things that they must do in order to make his plan successful. And Satan shall promise all those who attend these institutions of learning, even these colleges and universities and schools as they shall be known among you. Yeah, Satan shall promise them glories and honors of men, if it so be that they abide by the requirements of these institutions and pay the money that is required of them. And in that day, the wicked shall rejoice in their knowledge that they have gained from these institutions, and they shall praise each other in their accomplishments, which they have obtained by attending these institutions of learning. Which they have obtained by attending these institutions of learning. And the knowledge that shall be taught therein shall support the functions of the blessings that Satan hath given to those who follow him and keep his commandments. And the children of the world shall be taught by their parents to trust in the knowledge that they shall receive therein. Behold, the children shall be given praise from their parents for the marks that they shall receive, and the degrees upon which they shall set their hearts. See, I didn't get that from my parents. I didn't get that because I brought home D's and F's. I didn't do well in school. But my brother did excellent in school. So he got a lot of praise for the good grades that he received. He was able to go to college and graduate and get a degree. And he has a career. Okay? But he spends all of his time, energy, and effort slaving for this beast system. And he be tired. He tells me that he be so tired, but yet he thinks this is what he has to do for a living. And he does this for a living. This is normal life for my family. This is normal life for many people. But it was never normal life for me. I seen things differently. Verse 9. And when their hearts are set upon obtaining the glories and honors of men, then shall their righteous acts toward the poor and the sick and the afflicted and those who are in prison because of their lack of knowledge, then shall their concern for their neighbor cease. See, these things cause you to have a hard heart, people. And this is what the sealed portion is bringing out within this chapter, okay? They're teaching you against the Father. They're teaching you against the Messiah. Everything about this world teaches you against the all power of love and life. Okay? Verse 10. And thus Satan shall again show forth his power over the children of men, in fulfilling the words of John, when he spoke of the beast and its image, and the acceptance and worshiping of this image, which is established and influenced through these institutions of learning. Okay? This false reality that we live in is the image of the beast, okay? You look to these institutions. You look to these universities. You look to the medical industry. You look to the government. You look to the scientists. You look to all of these people that's been set up by this system as the people that have the wisdom. You look to, they have the wisdom of this world, okay? And the wisdom of this world is against the Father. All of it, okay? Verse 11. Now, in the days of Adam, there were no schools where one might go to learn the things and knowledge of the world. But all the children of Adam were taught the plan of the Father, which is that we should love one another and do unto each other what they would have done unto them. Okay? Things you want to have done unto you, do those things to other people. Things you don't want done to you, don't do it to other people. Okay? Verse 12. And in the city of Enoch, which was the most righteous city that has ever been upon the earth, in this city, there were no institutions of secular learning established among the people. And these people were the most beloved and respected of all the children of the Most High that the Most High hath placed upon this earth. And these people were the most beloved and respected of all the children of the Most High that He placed upon this earth. And they truly experienced eternal peace and happiness among them. Now, if we all kept the eternal law of the Father, this world would be a paradise. But it's not a paradise. Why is it not a paradise? It's only a paradise for the few. It's a paradise for the wicked right now, okay? It's a paradise for those that have set themselves up in authority over everybody else and have taken more than was necessary and placed everybody else under captivity, okay? You have to slave for a living because of these greedy people. You should not be forced to pay land fees. You should not be forced to pay rent. You should not be forced to buy food. If your government was righteous, they would have food growing everywhere. There would be gardens everywhere. There would be vineyards. There would be fruit trees. There would be all of these things growing everywhere. No one would be starving. No one would be homeless. Okay? It is because of the greedy, not because of the lazy. Okay? You have to renew your mind. You have to have your stony heart melted. Okay? It is not because of laziness. Homelessness and poverty is not because of laziness. It is because of the greedy. It is because of the wicked. Verse 14. And now I ask of ye of the latter days, what good is the knowledge that is taught to you in your schools of learning? Does the knowledge that you learn point you towards loving your neighbor and doing good unto them? Or does it not teach you to exalt yourself above your neighbor? Doesn't it teach you that you're better than other people because you get good grades? Don't you think that you're better than other people because you went to Harvard or you went to one of these Ivy League schools? Does it not teach you that which ye must do in order to get more gain, that which the poor and the meek receive because they do not attend these schools? And what of the poor? Are they not the ones that work in your fields and sew your clothes and do all manner of manual labor that provideth you with a house in which you live? See, I heard this all my life. Get a job. Go to school. So that you ain't gotta work at McDonald's. So that you ain't gotta be one of these people. Make something of yourself in life. See, they teach you to look down upon those with these kind of jobs. They teach you to look down upon the manual laborer. They teach you to look down upon them as if you are above them. Because you're better than them, because you got to go to a good school, because you got more money, and you were able to afford to go to these Ivy League institutions. You were able to get your degrees. So now you have set yourself up above other people. So now you have a heart of stone, and now you can care less about the poor. Now you think that they are lazy. And what have these, who are the most important people in a sustaining of your daily lives? What have they learned in your institutions? Behold, not attending your institutions causes them to be humble before the Most High and work by the sweat of their own brow, which was commanded of them by Yahusha. These are the poor and the meek and the humble whom you have abased because you have lifted yourselves above them and paid them a low wage for which you would not work. See, I've had all kinds of jobs, people. I have been a part of this satanic beast system, slaving for an income. I've done it for over 20 years, okay? So I know what I'm talking about. And the Father has called me out of it because it's time. It is time that I put my energy and focus to what He is calling me to do. Okay? No longer am I to divide my attention and my time and my energy to get gain of this world when he said that he will sustain me. All of my time, energy, and effort is to do this, is to do his will for my life. Regardless of what I'm facing. Regardless of the situation that I am in, that I told you in the beginning of this audio, how I'm going without many things that I want and need. Sacrifice. This is the type of sacrifice that the Father wants of us, okay? He doesn't want animal sacrifice. He wants you to sacrifice yourself. Verse 19, and many of the poor shall desire to attend these schools, that they might also participate in the economy of the beast and take its image upon them. But because they are poor, they shall not have the means whereby they can pay for the education that the rich have placed a value upon to get gain. Behold, these institutions shall be set up to enrich those who invest in them and pay the salaries of the professors and the administrators who are the emissaries of Satan and share in the glory and blessings that he has promised to them. Behold, these have been convinced by Satan that without an education that can only be received in an institution of learning that is set up to get gain, the image of the beast cannot be realized. Neither shall the great standard of excellence that they have been deceived into thinking should be the desire of every heart come to pass. They've been convinced that without an education, you ain't going to be able to make a living. Without an education, you're going to be poor. You're going to be a nobody. Well, see, I've always been a nobody, even when I had a job, even when I had income, even when I was working full time, even when I was working overtime. I was still poor. I was still broke. Spending all of my time, energy, and effort in order to sustain my life or my basic needs. Torturing myself. Waking up before the freaking crack of dawn. Waking up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, setting an alarm. Not able to sleep all through the night. Tossing and turning. Concerned that I'm not going to get enough sleep, but I have to be up at this certain time so that I can be at work at 6 a.m. And I have to work, I have to stay there till freaking 6 p.m. 12 freaking hours. Using the porta potty for 12 hours in the midst of the summer. Can smell the poop and the piss miles away, just baking in the sun all day. This is what I had to use. And all of these construction workers that wanted to eat burritos for breakfast, sitting there blowing up the freaking porta potty. Every single one of the porta potties had poop in it. Like, damn, bro, why can't y'all poop at home? Y'all ain't got nowhere else to poop but in the freaking porta potty here? In the middle of the summer, and you gotta poop in every single one of them? There can't be one without poop? This was what I was forced to use. This is just one of the freaking jobs. It was hell, okay? I ain't just talking out the side of my neck. I ain't just saying these things and I ain't never had to work a job. I had to work it. I lived it, okay? But everything that was within me was completely against it, and I didn't understand it at that time. I didn't understand why we had to do these things. Why in the hell do we have to do this to sustain our life? If the Father is good, I didn't even understand all of these things, okay? But I had all of these questions deep down within me. Like, none of this makes sense, bruh. If God is a God of love, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to be a slave in order to sustain our life? Why must I give all of my time, energy, and effort in order to sustain my life? I get paid and more than half of my check is gone just from paying rent and paying all of these freaking insurance and all of this crap. You know, by the time all the bills and rent came out of my check, I barely had anything left over. It didn't make sense to me. And it was torture to me and slavery. Okay? But now it makes perfect sense, because this is the kingdom of Satan that's been set up upon this earth that many people are complacent with. Okay? But I am of my Father, and He has called me to bring these things out, so that's what I'm doing. Verse 22. Yeah, these are the learned, of whom the prophets have testified, shall persecute the poor and the needy because of their words, or in other words, because of their lack of education, because of their lack of the education offered in these institutions. And now, Yahusha offereth his truth and his understanding of knowledge unto all without price. You ain't gotta pay to hear these words of the Messiah. You ain't gotta pay a dime to hear this truth. You ain't gotta pay to come on my channel. But it is a righteous thing to sow a seed if the Father touches your heart to do so. But you don't have to pay a dime to hear these words come out of this willing vessel. Yeah, this is what was meant by Jacob when he said, "Come, my brethren, everyone who thirsts, come unto the waters, and he that has no money, come buy and eat. Yeah, come and buy wine and milk without money and without price. Therefore do not spend money for that which is of no worth, nor your labor for that which cannot satisfy." Stop giving these charlatans your money. Stop going to these buildings made with human hands, giving these people your money. They don't care about you, and they ain't even teaching you the truth. They keeping you pacified with lies. They're lying to you. And now, how can your degrees and your honors and your glories of men, which ye shall receive in these institutions, satisfy your desires of happiness? Yeah, the only desire that they shall satisfy is your lust for power and gain according to the plan of Lucifer and the blessings that he has promised you by following his plan. So my family want to look down upon me and be like, "Oh, you can't possibly be hearing from the Father, because if you were hearing from the Father, if you were hearing from God, then you wouldn't be so destitute." Because they truly believe that the Father, the creator of love and life, blesses with money, blesses with riches, blesses with the wealth of this world. As they look to the Pope, they look to the government, they look to all of these so-called officials, they look to these so-called authority. These people are wicked. The more wealthier you are, the more wicked you are. The more money you have, the more wicked you are. Okay? The more cold your heart is. The more money you have, the colder your heart. Yeah. Even after you have obtained all the glories of men, are you happy and satisfied with your lives? I say unto you that you are not satisfied with your lives. For behold, I have seen your day, and I have read much concerning your great wickedness in the words that have been written by the brother of Jared, and we know that you are not happy. For even after you have received all of these things, you shall still seek for those things which Satan has provided for you to ease the pain and misery of your souls. And your children, behold, do they not use the freedom that they have away from the auspices of their parents to drink wine and use all those things which ease the pain and misery of the pressure and burdens that these institutions of learning place upon them? Don't they live the party lifestyle? Don't they go off to these colleges and live the party lifestyle? That's exactly what the sealed portion is bringing out to you right now. Behold, what happiness do you find in these things? And now, of what use are many of the courses of learning that you are required to take in order that you might obtain a degree and an honor, that you might perform your duties in a profession that you will never utilize any of the knowledge that you receive from these required courses? Behold, this is the desire of the rich who have set up these institutions to get gain and power over you. For behold, the more knowledge that is required of you, the more you are forced to pay to those who shall reward you with the glories and honors of men. Behold, why do you allow another to indoctrinate you and control your thinking, when that in which they have indoctrinated you shall do nothing to give unto you peace and happiness that you desire? Why are you allowing these people to indoctrinate you? That's exactly what these institutions are doing. That's exactly the purpose of these schools. That's exactly why schools is set up, for you to send your children to be indoctrinated into this satanic beast system. Whether you want to come to that realization or not, that is the absolute truth, okay? Behold, why do you trust in the professors and the teachers and the educators of these accepted learning institutions among you, yet deny the power of the Holy Spirit, which could teach you all the things that you need to find happiness and to be saved in the kingdom of the Most High? See, I ain't need to go to no institution to understand the oracles of the Father. I was taught by way of the Spirit. Do you not know that the prophets of old knew and understood many of the things which are much greater than the things that you are taught in the schools of men? And when the Messiah was upon the earth, did he attend these institutions of learning? Yeah. Did he desire any of the honors and glories of men? Yeah, did he desire any of the honors and glories of men? Now, I do know that there are some records that do state that he went to Egypt and he went to India. He went to all of these places and he studied under the priests and all of this, okay? But that was just so he can gain a better understanding of their mindset so that he can help to save them, okay? And he was very smart. So the reason, there's a reason when he didn't go there to learn, of the things of this world in order so that he can get the glories and honors of men, okay? He went there so that he can have a better understanding of the mindset of people so that he could better help them. There is a difference, okay? And Joseph and Christopher, who are the last prophets who shall be among you upon the earth. Now, Joseph and I'm not going to really break this down. I know Joseph, that's they try to say that he was the founder of the Mormon religion and all of that, but we referring to the records, okay? The so-called Book of Mormon, okay? There's a lot of good information in there, okay? That is one of the sticks, the stick of Joseph, okay? And this Christopher, I'm not really sure what that would be other than the freaking sealed record, because it says that it was translated by Christopher. So that's what I'm thinking, they mean by Christopher, but this is referring to the records, okay? Not actual people, but the records, okay? So the Book of Mormon and the sealed portion, okay? And Joseph and Christopher, the Book of Mormon and the sealed portion, in my understanding, as it is right now, that's what I'm thinking that it is, who are the last prophets who shall be among you upon the earth before the coming of the Messiah. What do you think that they learned in these institutions? Okay? The author of the Book of Mormon, well, Joseph Smith found this, okay? He wasn't the author of it, okay? But it's still these records, okay? So the authors of these records, did they go to these institutions? Did they learn in these institutions? Behold, the former shall not have more than the education that is required of a young child. So it's talking about Joseph, okay? Didn't have more education than that was required of a young child. Yet he shall bring forth truths unto you that the world has never known. There's truths within the Book of Mormon that the world has never known. There's truths within this sealed portion that the world has never known. And the latter shall attend this institution of secular learning during the time of his refinement, having been influenced by Satan to follow the course of his plan. But he shall overcome the temptations of Satan, and shall mock the ways of this institution, and shall prove therein that the wisdom of man is nothing compared to the wisdom of the Most High. Now this can be compared to my life, because the latter, all right, and it's not just me. There's others, okay? There's others that have been called by the Father. This is a spirit, okay? The spirit that is in the earth right now. The latter I've attended these institutions, but now I'm speaking out against it, okay? I'm not setting myself above nobody, but I'm using my life to make this plain and crystal clear to you and try to give you an understanding what my mindset is in and why I think the way that I do, okay? I've lived my life, so I understand this with a deepness, okay? I understand the deepness of this because I have lived it. I understand the depths of it, okay? Verse 37. And it shall come to pass that when Yahushua cometh upon the earth to reign during the millennium, he shall cause to be destroyed all of the institutions of learning and all of the books contained therein that teaches unto the children of men the lies that Satan desired them to know concerning his plan. Behold, he shall teach all of the inhabitants of the earth the gospel, which he taught before, which taught a man that he shall love his neighbor and his enemies as much as he loveth himself. Yeah, and upon this foundation shall the inhabitants of the earth learn all of the truths which are necessary for their salvation and eternal happiness in the kingdoms of the Father. And he shall teach them the truths concerning the order and laws of nature, which shall be presented and taught in such a manner that even a young child shall understand and be able to use the knowledge that shall be given unto him by Yahushua for the sake of his own happiness. And now, I have already explained unto you that only those of the celestial in their desires shall be given the knowledge and the powers over the elements that will allow them to create worlds and the environs that are required by these worlds in order to sustain, in order to allow life to begin thereon. Therefore, If only those who are celestial shall have this knowledge, and this knowledge shall be taught unto them by Yahusha in its pure form, of what use shall it be for others to study the functions and laws of nature when they shall be forbidden from using this knowledge in the kingdom, in any kingdom that is not celestial, which kingdom of glory they have chosen for themselves because of their free agency. So you're teaching these things that people are not going to be able to utilize, okay? You're teaching them some things about the function and laws of nature, but what good is it going to do you? Because if you're not of the celestial kingdom, you're not going to be able to utilize that knowledge, okay? The knowledge is going to be forbidden from you to use, okay? So what is the point? Now, behold, during the last days, Satan shall have the ability and the power to give unto the children of men many of the powers of the Most High, and give them a limited understanding of these powers, as I have already explained it unto you. And ye of the latter days shall see the great destruction that shall come upon the inhabitants of the earth because of this knowledge and these powers that Satan shall be allowed by the Father to give unto them. Nuclear war? Where do you think that knowledge comes from? Huh? They're using this power for evil, okay? They wouldn't be able to create atomic bombs without some of the knowledge of the Father, okay? Without the knowledge of the power of nature, okay? The functions and laws of nature, all right? They're creating atomic weapons with the limited knowledge that they have of these powers, okay? They're using it for destruction, okay? Because these people are wicked. This is why you're not allowed to have these powers if you are not of the celestial kingdom. Because you are wicked. You're using it for your own gain. You're using it for your own glory. Therefore, you have no knowledge of the Father to use these things for good. Therefore, you have caused great destruction upon the earth. Okay? Therefore, ye shall see how wicked and selfish men use these powers for their own gain, and the knowledge that they shall receive from Satan shall be taken from them during the last millennium of the earth, and shall only be given to those who are righteous and who will use these powers for the benefit and happiness of all the children of the Most High. And thus we can see the great wisdom of the Father in allowing Satan to have access to these powers to incorporate into his plan in the latter days, in this half a time, okay? He didn't get to start using these powers, people, until the half of time, okay? He didn't get to start using these great powers, the limited amount that he's been given by the Father, to be able to show forth his plan to the children of men, because he complained and said it's not fair that he is not able to show forth his plan to the children of men. He was given a half a time. He was given this time to bring out his plan, okay, in full force. And we can clearly look around in the earth that we're living today. We can look around in the world and see how wicked that it is, all right? You're just in complete denial if you can't see how wicked this world is. And everything that I'm saying to you should make perfect freaking sense to you. Verse 45. And thus we can see the great wisdom of the Most High in allowing Satan to have access to these powers to incorporate into his plan in the latter days. For it shall be proven that the desire of Lucifer in the beginning to give unto all the children of the Father the powers that the Father possesses can only lead to chaos and misery because of the selfish ways in which these powers are used by those who are not celestial beings. Therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, seek not for the knowledge of the world, for it shall not lead you down the path of righteousness, which path shall bring you the happiness that you desire. But before you seek for knowledge, seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness. Then these things shall be given unto you. And when you understand the Father and know him, then you are one with him. And the purpose of the great atonement hath been fulfilled in saving your souls from the misery that ye would have experienced by following the plan of Lucifer. I have been miserable my whole life, following the plan of Lucifer, unknowingly, okay? Even though it was everything within me was against getting a job and working for the system. I hated it, okay? But I had no understanding of the reason why I hated it other than it felt like slavery. It felt like bondage and something ain't right, okay? But I could not explain it back then. I could not articulate it. And I was stigmatized and demonized and called lazy, okay? It has absolutely nothing to do with laziness. It is not lazy to have over 100 videos put out there for you on my channel in 3 months' time, okay? That is not laziness whatsoever, okay? And when you understand the Father and know him, then you are one with him, and the purpose of the great atonement has been fulfilled in saving your souls from the misery that ye would have experienced by following the plan of Lucifer. Behold, do not seek for an education that you might become rich and receive the honors and glories of men, for in this ye shall become prideful, and shall offend the Spirit of the Most High. Behold, here are more of the words of Jacob, which have been given in the unsealed portion of this record, and which bring great joy to my soul. And which bring great joy to my soul. Behold, here are more of the words of Jacob, which have been given in the unsealed portion of this record, and which bring great joy to my soul. For behold, the Nephites were like unto you of the latter days, in that they had acquired many of the fine things of the world. But Yahusha caused that Jacob should speak unto the people regarding these things. Therefore I would that you of the latter days liken his words unto you, for they were written and preserved and sealed up to come forth unto you for your instruction. And it is written, saying, I must tell you the truth according to the plainness of the word of the Most High. For behold, as I inquired of the Most High, thus came the word unto me, saying, Jacob, Get thou up into the temple on the morrow, on the next day, and declare the word which I shall give to you unto this people. And now behold, my brethren, this is the word which I declare unto you, that many of you have begun to search for gold and for silver and for all manner of precious ores, in the which this land, which is the land of promise unto you and to your seed, does abound most plentifully. So within this land, this America's, this promised land over here, oh yeah, there's much gold, there is much silver, there is much ore, and all of these things that are on these lands over here, okay? And the people were searching for these things, okay? And the hand of provision has smiled upon you most pleasingly, that you have obtained many riches, and because some of you have obtained more abundantly than that of your brethren, you have lifted up yourself in pride. You are lifted up in the pride of your hearts, and wear stiff necks and high heads because of the costliness of your apparel. And you persecute your brethren because you suppose that you are better than them. You suppose that you are better than them. And now, my brethren, do you suppose that the Most High justifies you in this thing? Behold, I say unto you, nay, but he condemneth you. And if you persist in these things, his judgment must come speedily upon you. Oh, that he would show you that he can pierce you, and with one glance of his eye he can smite you to the dust. Oh, that he will rid you from this iniquity and abomination. And oh, that you will listen unto the word of his commands, and let not this pride of your hearts destroy your souls. Think of your brethren like you do yourself, and be familiar with all, and free with your substance, that they may be rich like unto you. Think of your neighbor like you do yourself. Be familiar with all those around you. Be free with your substance. Give of your substance. Let's stop this gap of inequality, okay? Do you understand that the so-called Negro is very unequally yoked, okay? We have had everything stolen from us. Everything taken from us, okay? You Europeans, I am not condemning you, but you have had opportunities here in the Americas that the so-called Negro has not had, okay? There is not equal footing whatsoever. We have been placed on the bottom. Yes, it was due to our own wickedness. But the Father has brought me here to you to tell you to impart of your substance those that have abundance. Help those that are poor. Okay? The Negro has been destitute. Okay? You should sow unto those that you see are of the Father. Okay? The Father will smile upon you, Gentiles. Those of you Gentiles that really want to be saved, to be spared. I'm not telling you that you got to give me money in order to be saved. But if you do want to be spared this coming judgment, give unto the poor. Okay? Give, if you have abundance, give of your, this is a requirement. You ain't got to give it to me, but it would be a righteous thing to give it unto me because I do need it. Okay? It's not like I don't need it. All right? So you would be doing a righteous thing. Now, if you withhold it from me because you don't like me, then that would be an unrighteous thing. Okay? But I'm trying to be crystal clear to you. I'm not telling you that you must give me money in order to be saved. So don't take it that way. What I'm saying is it is a righteous thing to restore his people. Okay? I am of my father, and I am of the bloodline that hath been placed on the bottom and has had everything stolen. Okay? I don't have generational wealth, okay? I am the generational curse breaker, and I am here to bring you this truth, okay? It will be wise for you to sow unto me because you're sowing unto righteous fruit, okay? I am of my father. And not that you have to give unto me to be saved, but it is a righteous thing to do, and the Father would smile upon you. Especially if you have abundance. If you have abundance, it is a righteous thing to do to restore his people. Okay? It's not just by confessing and believing, it's what you do. And if you have a compassionate heart, you will want to sow unto the people of the Father, okay? You will want to sow unto his servants, all right? Whether they're Negro or not, okay? Color should not have anything to do with it. Race should not have anything to do with your heart and you giving of your substance to those that are in need. But I bring up the fact of the Negro and how we have been destitute, how we have been placed on the bottom, and you know that we have. Okay? I'm not telling you to give up your substance to these unrighteous brews out here. I'm not telling you to, fund their wickedness and their abomination. No, you want to sow unto good soil. You want to plant a seed into good soil. Okay? I am good fertile soil that you will be planting a seed in, okay? Now, that's all I'm going to say on that for now until the Father tells me to say something else about it. All right? I just wanted to clarify that. I'm not telling you that you must give me money, to be saved. I ain't saying that. But like I said, it is a righteous thing to give unto those that are in need, okay? And it is an unrighteous thing to hoard when you know that there is people in need. Okay? It is unrighteous to hear these words of his servant tell you that I am in need of substance and you hoard it, you hold it from me because you don't like me or because you don't like the things that I'm saying to you. That will work against you. Okay? It's different if you don't have it and you're here because you want to learn the oracles of the Father and you want to grow spiritually and you don't have any money. That is perfectly okay. But those of you that have abundance, you're here hearing these words and you know his servant is in need of assistance, financial assistance. You hear these words, but you harden your heart against his servant. That's unrighteous. Okay? Now I'm going to continue. I'm going to read this verse 58 again so that it can sink in. Think of your brethren like you do yourself. Be familiar with all of those around you. Be free with your substance, that they may be rich like unto you. Okay? Impart of your substance. You can't just confess and believe out your mouth. You have to give of your substance to those that are in need. Okay? And quit giving to charities. Quit giving to people that you see on this TV. Okay? Give to those that the Father places on your heart to give to. Plant your seed in fertile ground. Okay? Verse 59. But before you seek for riches, seek ye for the kingdom of the Most High. And after you have obtained a hope in the Hamashiach, ye shall obtain riches. If you seek them, then ye will seek them for the intent to do good, to clothe the naked, and to feed the hungry, and to liberate the captive, and administer relief to the sick and the afflicted. Now, the only reason I would want to be well off, okay, because I never wanted to be rich. I'll be honest. I never wanted to be rich. I could care less about being rich, all right? I never really wanted to be rich. I didn't want to, struggle all my damn life. I just wanted to have enough to live and be happy, okay? I ain't never sought the riches of this world. I have never sought for gain and glory and fame. I ain't never sought for the honors of men, okay? But I have a desire to help people. I have a desire to feed the hungry. I have a desire to clothe the naked. I have a desire to liberate the captive. Okay? So if there is abundance that begins to flow in, I will be used of the Father to do these things. Okay? I wouldn't use the money for myself. Okay? It would be to sustain my life, and anything beyond that, above that, will be placed into the work that He has me doing, including helping people, feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, liberating the captives. Okay? And now, my brethren, I have spoken unto you concerning your pride, and those of you who have afflicted your neighbor, and have persecuted him, because you were proud in your hearts of the things which the Most High has given you. What will you say then? What you gonna say? What you gonna say then? Do you not suppose that these such things are abominable unto Him who created all flesh? And the one being is as precious in His sight as the other. And all flesh is of the dust, and for the same self-end has He created them, that they should keep His commandments and glorify Him forever. None of us is better than another. From dust you are, and dust you shall return. Okay? Dust you shall return. Do you not see that it is a hope in the Hamashiach, which ye should desire above all other things upon the earth? Behold, if ye have a hope in the Hamashiach, in the Messiah, then ye shall know of the Messiah. You shall know the Messiah. And if ye know Him, then ye shall know the Father by the power of the Holy Spirit, which shall give unto you all the knowledge that you desire to make you happy. Again I say unto you, seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High, and all these things shall be given unto you. Shalom.